Righto guys, welcome back to Dusty Boots Outdoors. Today we're doing a timing belt in a 2006 SR5 Hilux KUN 26R. So yeah, come along with us and I'll show you how to set up your new timing belt. Righto guys, so we've got the radiator out, the serpentine belt out, basically all pulled apart. Our next mission, basically we just take the timing cover off, line up all the marks to the right spot so we don't have to move it again. Everything's sweet. Then we'll be able to replace our timing belt. So let's get into the main part of it. So once again, if you like what you're seeing in any of these episodes, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. But yeah guys, hit the subscribe button, get on the notifications, and yeah, keep watching. Thank you very much. Righto guys, some of the most important parts are that you need to line the mark up with your crankshaft. There's a little mark on the timing block, basically to line him up with, and at the same time the line on your camshaft has to line up with its mark as well. Shows that everything's at top dead center and in the right spot. So before you remove your belt, you must do this. Basically so everything's spinning at the right time, otherwise you'll basically bend a valve. As you move the pistons up, your valves will still be hanging down because you haven't moved the cog on the camshaft. So the idea is, hopefully you can see down here, put a little white dot in him. There's a little groove cut in the crankshaft wheel here, and he needs to line up with this little lug on the side of the timing cover, or timing cover. Alright, so them two things need to wind around and line up. And up on your camshaft, this little mark here, already groove cut into the cogs, needs to line up with this little V up top here. I just put a bit of white paint on him so you can see. Now, general rule of thumb, well basically the engine spins over in a clockwise motion, so you want to keep spinning him in his clockwise motion, keep turning him, and when I get around, now sometimes you might have to wind him over twice or something like that before these line up. Right, you'll see here, you want to get them spot on, and what I'm going to use is basically this one. You can see that's almost there. You can look where it's going past, it depends on the angle you hold the camera on. But down the bottom here, so the idea is get that lined up perfect. I don't like to go past it. If I've gone past it, it feels like you've just come over top dead center and you don't want to do that. I've always been told it's better to be that fraction of a millimeter before top dead center than it is to go past it. But you want to get it spot on, but you'll feel that compression let go. You don't want it to let go on you, basically. That's him. So yeah, let's line him up, but you line them two marks up, don't let anything move from there, and then disassemble and then reassemble basically in that spot. Yeah, righto guys, main thing when coming back to putting your new belt in, when you buy a genuine Toyota belt, I'm not sure if they all have them, I've only got a genuine one sitting here, but you'll actually have these lines on it, timing lines. So you've got one up top, and there'll be a second one on it, just down here. Now pretty much, those two lines will be used to line up with your timing marks. So you'll have one up top, and then one down on your fuel pump one. Now, if you have a look closely, try and get in there. The timing mark for the fuel pump is just in under here. It's basically just underneath that sensor. But as long as you've got your main crankshaft, you've got that one lined up, these two are one to one. So if this lines up, that lines up. Alright? But the objective is going to be sliding this new belt on. We're going to line up this line on the top one, that line on the bottom. You'll see it's not, you know, I suppose they're not quite opposite each other. It is on one side of the belt, so you can see, but that's how you know you've got that side nice and tight, you've got it right, then you'll be able to hook up your tensioner, and she's all good to go. But let's run that in there. So let's put this new belt in. Now I've got him, so they're proportioned over to that side, so that's going to be where my fuel pump is. This is the top timing mark, camshaft mark. I find it easier to put the bottom sprocket on first, put it on the fuel pump, line up, line our timing mark up. That's lined up on the bottom. Stretch him around. We've got that top one lining up now. Stretch him on. So that lets me know that back side is nice. All I've got to do is get my tension on it now. Once we put our tensioner in, let him go, that'll be him. Give it a quick look. Righto, so you can see you've got your top mark on. Bottom one's going to be a bit harder. Can't really get you in there to see. Sure. You can see that little mark or not? Now, we're going to take our little tensioner, put him into place, a little bit of Loctite. Do not do him up too tight. You don't want to break it, it's only alloy, it's only small bolts. So I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on. We do some rough roads and I don't want to vibrating out. Righto, you should be able to see she's all put back together. Lines are all lined up. Got my tensioner in. I've still got the pin in there, haven't let it go yet. Pulley's all in. Make sure the belt's looking nice. It's all nice and straight, nice and even. Righto, one thing left to do. Now, this little nut on the inside here, before you I put a brand new one in each time I do them. It's basically the little idler bearing, I suppose, idler pulley, tensioner pulley. I just make sure that's nice and tight, you don't want that vibrating off and sitting in the packet, so always check it before you do. I actually pull it apart and put a drop of Loctite on there and tighten it up myself. But yeah, make sure she's all good. Pull the pin, there we go. All nice and tight, tension's on. Now I'm going to wind that over a couple of times by hand, make sure my timing marks keep lining up, but looking at everything here, there's no reason why it won't be, everything's fine. It's just a precautionary action that you'd rather roll it over by hand if you had stuffed up. You're not crashing those valves into the pistons, and if you did, you're doing it by hand, so you'd say hopefully you don't stuff anything. So guys, we've got it all back together now. Now it's time just to turn the key and check she all works. What we're going to do now is pretty well set the trip meter, the timer, I suppose, timing belt trip meter. And so she goes off again at 150,000 and get this water running through. Cheers, let's see if she goes. And she's running, righto.